Good morning, guys. We are out in the garden today doing a big harvest of our greens. This entire bed is my brassica and greens bed, and we are about to get some really warm weather over the next 2 weeks. Very little rain, temperatures over 90, and that is something that these guys don't like. So I want to get them harvested now. I want to get them canned up and put away before I have to start concentrating on other things. So we have some chard here, I have a couple heads of cabbage, I have my broccoli here, and then I also have some cauliflower back there in the back. The things I'll probably be leaving are the Brussels sprouts and the cauliflower. Neither one of them have produced any actual stuff yet, so I am going to leave them and hope that they will do okay and survive the very warm weather we're going to have. But other than that, I need to get some of these smaller heads that popped up off of my broccoli since I did the main head gathering a couple weeks ago, get those put away, and then we'll just be coming through and getting all of the greens that we can to do some southern collard greens and get that canned up. Alright guys, we have all of our greens in now, and we are going to get to the process of cleaning them all up. I will be removing the main stems here, giving them a really good kind of swish in some water that has a little bit of vinegar in it, and then rinsing them off. I'll then chop them up over here and get them into my large pot. I also have a large tote right down here underneath the camera here, where I will be putting all of the leaves that look bad, all of the stems that I'm throwing away, etc. And it's going to take a little while, but we will get there. So I'll come back when I have all of this cleaned up and ready to go. So I just got done with getting all of my greens washed up and cleaned. They are packed into my pot here. There's a little bit of water at the bottom of the pot, and I have the heat on. I'm going to steam them for 10 to 15 minutes just to wilt them down a little bit. And while they do that, I will work on my stock. Basically, I've got 2 cans of stock here, at least 1 thing of water, and I need to add the spices and seasonings to it. I have just some pork broth in here, 2 quart jars, as well as a quart jar of just plain fresh water. I have a ham hock in here that we have from the pig that we slaughtered last year. I'll also be using some of this smoked pork jowl that we got off our pig. I'll be frying that up and adding it to it. And then as far as other ingredients go, I am following mostly the 1870 Homestead Rachel's kind of recipe with hot sauce, brown sugar, onions, garlic, apple cider vinegar, and some salt. This isn't the traditional ball canning recipe book sort of recipe. It doesn't follow everything. I am using a different type of greens than they recommend in there, but this is what she does, and I'm really interested in trying it out. We are back, guys. I had to do a little bit of can or pot juggling because my pressure canner is the largest pot that I own currently. So with all of these greens as well as all of the liquid, I was just unable to fit it into this stock pan originally. I ended up putting it all into my pressure canner and letting it boil on the stove for 20 minutes in that. After that point, I went ahead and grabbed another large pot and strained off a good portion of the liquid. So this recipe actually has a lot of liquid for it. I will correct that down below in the recipe that I will post for what I did here today. If you are interested in making this, it'll just be a slightly smaller amount probably of the starting stock and water mixture that I had. And hopefully that will mean that you guys do not have quite as much. I did give this a taste, and I gave the liquid a taste as well. It is delicious, guys. It is so good. I have no intention of letting that extra liquid go to waste. I am planning on making soup out of it for dinner tonight. It is that good. So we are going to go ahead and get started with the canning process of these greens. I've got my jars heating up in the oven, and then we will be pressure canning them at 10 pounds of pressure, or 11, I'll double check, for 75 minutes. Well, that is all we have for today, guys. We managed to get 9 of these collard greens put up. I am also finishing working on the broccoli that I did manage to harvest. They're just smaller florets that were growing after I harvested the larger heads. Those are soaking. I'll get them cleaned up, and then I will chop them up and be throwing them into the freezer. The rest of the cabbage heads that I harvested, I will be doing something with them. I am thinking a coleslaw, or a canned coleslaw. I believe I saw a really good recipe from the 1870s Homestead and or Simple Living Alaska. I believe they both have recipes that I am looking into for trying out. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys, and I will see you guys next time.